Hi you guys, it's Rocky and welcome to my channel. I'm home for the summer and like I said all the time, I'm going to try to post videos regularly, and that's probably going to be the first shittiest thing that I've done in my life is that I completely lie even though I don't mean to. And for my 100 subscribers that, watch my videos, whoop whoop, look at me, big deal here, hot shot, I kind of just don't post regularly, which I should. And I promise I'm trying to, and I'm home for the summer, so maybe this time I'll actually be able to start posting on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Before we do get started though, if you would like to, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I post Tuesdays and Saturdays whenever I can, and yeah, so let's go ahead and begin. As you can see from the title below, this is going to be the shittiest things that I've done ever in my life as a human being. I wrote all of them down, so I'm just going to tell you guys what I was able to come up with, and some of this, you might agree with me, or you might have done too as well, because you're a teenager, or you are a teenager, or you're about to be a teenager, and you've probably just done these things in your life in general. And then some of them are a little bit crazy, a little bit psychopathic, but whatever. So yeah, let's go ahead and begin. Hey, future Rocky here, so don't pay attention to my makeup and don't look at my face at all when you're watching this video, please, because as you can tell, my makeup was awful. For some reason, it's just right here. That was completely yellow or something, and I don't know why. Being my trans powder, but yeah, I should have put makeup on my neck too, and just ignore that, please. I love you so much. Okay, bye. The first one is something that I do on occasion, and that is that if my friends want to FaceTime me, sometimes I will just completely lie and say that I don't want to, well, not that I don't want to FaceTime, but I will tell them oh sorry, I was sleeping, and I will purposely just not answer them. And then, or I'll say I'm out playing tennis, or I'm busy doing yard work in the house, because that's what I do in my life. And you would think for somebody who doesn't get to see their friends on the daily in person and stuff, they would want to FaceTime them all the time. And I was like that when I first moved, and now I just don't associate. Okay, and the second one is the crazy one, which nobody's probably ever done in their life, but that is that without having a license or without even having a permit to my name, I decided to drive my friends to my ex-boyfriend's house, and they vandalized his property with Crayola paints. What? I didn't go out and do anything to his garage, but I did drive my friends to the location, which is in another neighborhood. So I was 15 or 16 at the time. This happened 4 years ago, and I do regret it. I did get handcuffed, and if you guys would like to see a video on that, then I will totally make story time for it, because it's a little bit interesting. I'm not that crazy anymore, if you believe me or not, whatever, but I'm not that crazy. I'm more low-key nowadays, it's a lesson learned type of thing, and I don't blame his family if they don't forgive me, to be honest. On a less crazy note, this is number 3, I think 3 or 4 of the shittiest things I've ever done, is that my parents were out of town that weekend, which is why I got a hold of the car, and I didn't tell my parents at all, but I brought 4 girls into my house while they were out of town, and we kind of just had our own little pool party, and we bought pizza and everything, and my parents just didn't know, and we snuck in through the backyard window. Yeah. Okay, and the next one is that, along with my parents again, I have locks on my room door, so and I knew how to get my friends up on the roof and come into my house, so I would, without my parents' permission or without them knowing, I would sneak people in my room and just we would chill for the night and just hang out, and my parents didn't know. I have done this more than once, if I'm gonna be honest with you, and they still don't know to this day. Okay, and another one with my parents, they're not very happy against or they're kind of against boys and girls sleeping over together, and so they would never have guys sleep over the house, obviously, but sometimes I would tell my parents that I was sleeping over at Izzy's or Erica's or somebody's house, and that was a girl, and I would end up sleeping over at my friend Steven's or another guy's house, just just to break my parents' rules. you know, everyday teen things. And another one with my parents is that I told them that I was going to be sleeping over at a coworker's house when instead me and my ex-boyfriend decided to get a hotel room together. I don't think his mom knows that either, but it's none of my business. And the next one, I never really noticed that I did this until I actually got into college, but because we have elevators in our like dorms, in our college dorms, and I never like to leave the door, like the elevator door, open for people when they're walking, unless I can clearly see them and I know that I'm gonna see them again and like I have to open the door for them. I genuinely just like to be alone, or just like with my friends in the elevator, like, because it's so awkward. Like, elevator, like, things are just so awkward unless the person just somehow doesn't make it awkward and like they keep a conversation going or something. Otherwise, I just like to go right in and like I'll start pressing the little door thing, like the little button that like can close the elevator door, and sometimes it doesn't close because the elevators are so old, but you know, whatever. So sometimes I do have to deal with that like awkward elevator thing, but most of the time I get in the elevator, I hope that like nobody's coming towards me in that elevator, and I close the elevator door and I'm alone for the next like 5 floors, or in hotels, or just anywhere in general. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have done this, but I faked my birthday once in a restaurant to get free ice cream. This next one honestly kind of inspired me to do this one because it was just like completely shitty. And that is that I quit my job without notice because I'm a loser. What happened was I was sick and I didn't go to work, and they gave me like 2 days off. I really was sick though, by the way. And the nurse like only gave me like 2 days off, but I was sick for like another week and I threw up and everything. I told them I was gonna be back in like 2 days, and I was scheduled to work that day, and it was like a Friday or something like that, and I just didn't feel like working because I was still sick and I could barely speak. And I'm not gonna say where I worked, but you had to like yell out customers' names when their order was ready, and I just didn't feel like going. So I kind of just blocked everybody that would call me. And yeah, and what's really awkward is that one of my coworkers lived like 2 dorm rooms down from me, so I saw her more than once, and it was very awkward. Every time I would see her, I would like look down at my phone, or just like have an awkward smile, or just look away, or just pretend I'm talking to my friends, or doing something other than staring at her, and it was very awkward. And she was very cool, so I'm kind of upset that I did that to myself, but whatever. Alright, and the next one, I don't really do this anymore, but I have done it before, like in middle school, is that I would either fake being sick and I would go to the nurses in school, or I would ask to go to the restroom so I don't have to present a project in front of the entire class. Now that there's like 60 people in my college, you know, classes, it's like 20 people, like presenting in front of 20 people really isn't that big of a deal anymore. But for me, I just don't deal with audience. I don't deal with people. And I remember I did this in 7th grade too. I would just ask if I can go to the restroom, and I would just spend like 10 minutes walking like up and down in the hallways just so I can avoid presenting, even though we all knew that I had to present later on, like that day or the next day. I guess it's understandable if you are not done with your assignment yet and you need like another day to finish it. But that wasn't the case for me. I was always done. I just didn't feel like presenting, even though I had to later on. And the last shitty thing that I have done in my life is that I was with my girlfriends and we were in the McDonald's bathroom, and we decided to like grab like the little like the foamy soap, and we just kind of, you know, threw it everywhere in the bathroom, and we kind of had fun like chasing each other around in the stalls. And we ended up getting kicked out of McDonald's for like 2 days or whatever. She told us to never come back, and we ended up coming back like that next morning because, you know, a bitch was hungry. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you want. Comment like, what is the shittiest thing that you've ever done in your life? And did you regret it? Did you not regret it? Do you like laugh about it today? Some of these I do laugh about, and some of them I just think I'm such a fucking idiot. So yeah. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys on Saturday. Bye!